Hey, it's Djemini. Welcome back to the 5225 podcast. I'm joined with the 7th producer of the year, Mr. R.J.B.
Yes, Sirski. What we doing, my brother?
Hey, man, I appreciate you bringing all these songs to life, man. We're right at the middle point of the year, and we made this choice to go part 2 with all the OGs, and my brother R.J.B. was down to be at this perfect junction point of the year to be able to, give some real R&B, man. That's what I've always wanted, to make records like what we made.
Yes, sir.
And so before we dive into those, I think I just want to give like a little bit of our backstory, because we definitely have a fun thing. So I'll flip it over to you to talk about like how we first met, and then we can get into like fast forward to all the way to when we made these songs, because this was a really unique and very quick turnaround for how fast we were able to do this. And so my dog really the MVP for being able to get these done quickly with me, and I'm just excited to share not only our story but then the story of the records too.
Come on now.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So I'm trying. It was not last year or year before.
The end of 23.
End of 23.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So I was basically a lot of people know this man Wavy with my shameless plug.
Yeah,
so
shout out Wavy Joseph.
Definitely was with Wavy, and I met you, Rain, Dom, seen everybody up in there, and like we was just all kicking it, just meeting each other and stuff like that, and. Yeah, it was just, everybody's like, okay, let's create a song. Word, this is the Sunday session. So it's like, we're going to do a session and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens. So as my guy, this man here had the long hair. This man had the long hair. He was making a show. He was known as, I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to see, because you didn't play... That's when I came here. So I'll go back to that. But so we did the Sunday session, and it's funny because we was just kicking in, being for the first time, and then when we started making, which song was it?
Man, I'm trying to remember,
was it?
Might have been that.
See what I'm saying?
I know. I honestly don't even remember what we started making first, but it might have been that daylight savings joint. You remember that?
No, it wasn't daylight.
No, there was one before that. I can't remember the specifics, but anyway, we made it was like a bunch of weeks back to back that we started making a bunch of stuff, just at the Sunday sessions, and that was where we like really got in tune with each other, and we were like, oh, we like that style, we like how we write, and it was like me, you, and Mo.
Come on,
shout out to our brother Mo Reese.
Not a shameless plug.
Yeah, man, like that synergy between all of us. It was really special, and I just enjoyed, that like brotherhood and camaraderie that we built very quickly, and just all of us staying in touch and like seeing each other often, but then all throughout, even after the Sunday sessions, like all of 2024, we would always see each other, whether it was for like events or birthdays or shows, and then that's when like you and I started to get a lot closer, was through that time. And so
we just kicking the shit. Eventually be like, hey big dog, how you been? What you doing? How's life? And plus, but also too, like Briggsy, talking to Briggsy. Yeah, we gotta have, this beyond the music, bro. Even I tell everybody, I'm like, you is my dog. Yes, we do this music. We love this music. But if I can show it for you as a person who does music and as a friend, yes.
Yeah.
Try my hardest to do it, and everybody that I know who I keep as a friend, try the hardest.
Yeah.
So
Nah, man. And speaking of Briggsy, man, we got a lot of shout outs in this episode for real. But man, we just got a lot of homies that we work with, and people that we love, and who have helped us like live out what we've wanted to do musically. And so we had been in touch all of the first half of 2024.
Yes.
But then it was really when you started working with Briggsy as well. You and Mo started working with Briggsy heavy and working on the writing and production side of all that. And then it was about this time last year, it was June of last year, that I came for the first time. And just got to kick it with, some people I'm meeting for the first time, some people I'm like, okay, these are my dogs, and I'm excited to, grow more together. And it was like all of those sessions, because man, last summer we were on a tear. We were in there, once or twice a week, bro?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
and it's crazy too, because, and it's funny, because even Cause this was after, because you jumped in, but I was about to talk about Softly when we was in here for the very first time in this man's spot. Bro, and he was like, hey, I'm working on this project. Hey, it's gonna be called It's Just a Pawn. But I want to play y'all softly. This shit, this man play it, and he gonna definitely put a clip of it, definitely. So you gonna hear me in there. But yeah, I was like, my man's, what he gonna have the ladies sweating, falling, passing out. Simple as that. Simple as that. The man, hey, R&B man. so we was just Djose, but even since then though, definitely my guy has been on something since then. So it's not like, hey, this is just something no, this man been at this. This man, you see my man with the long hair, you know this man been up to something since then. So this is all fire for my dog.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Dog. Of course, brother.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I remember that was a really special moment because you know, as I got to know you guys musically and personally, it was like I really trusted y'all's ear. And to see that it was you, Mo, and Wavy that night where I played you the demo softly, and it was something that I was really proud of, that I've been working on a lot, and it was, you know, part of my first project ever. So to be able to share that before it comes out with people whose, once again, ear I really trusted, and then to get that response from y'all being like, this is a really special project, and we're getting to know you as an artist in different capacities. Like, that was really special, and I carried that with me in a way that was like I'll never forget that.
She was always funny. Every time I think about it, I was like, yeah, bro. I say y'all wasn't there.
For real. That was the OG, man. They don't know about the long hair Djemini, bro.
Come on now.
You gotta go back into the catalog for that one.
Come on now. Hey, Just a Pawn. Y'all know what time it is.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly. The OG project. If we're keeping the shout outs going, shout out to the legend Salvatore Manalo, man, for helping me make that project happen. We're looking at the vinyl on the TV stand right here.
Yeah.
Man, that was another one of those very special projects, and it'll always be, you know, my first full EP. That's my baby. For real.
Come on, man.
So yeah, man. No, it was like then going back to, you know, last summer.
Yes.
When we started working on all these sessions, and then we were just working in a different capacity, and I think like being able to have that focused goal of working on these songs with Briggsy branched off into other ideas of like, how do we do this? And then I started working with Jay and started working with Nick, and then diving into those different styles of production, but still having like the same crew around, kind of opened that up to like, we were all sharing records with each other all the time, and you know, just staying in touch with like what we're working on and all that stuff. And then it was really when this year started, I knew, like, I had a list of people that I wanted to work with. And some, you know, I already had records with, but some people I was like, man, as much as we've spent time together, we hadn't made like an R&B or like, you know, true R.J.B, Djemini collab.
Thanks.
And I was like, man, that needs to be part of this year, bro. Like, that's no question. And so I remember, you know, just I had that idea for a minute, and then once again to that point of the quick turnaround, bro, it was really dope because I hit you about it in April. And I was just like, hey, bro, this has got to come out in like mid-June.
Say less.
So if you're down, I know it's going to be quick, but I believe that we can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And I think that, once again, I just appreciate you being like not only willing to do that, but then also like how quickly we were able to get into it.
Yes.
Was, you know, that first day where we went and got grits and gravy, and then we came back here, and then we may take our time.
Bro, and I'll be thinking about it, because like now that like the finish line with it, this is like, damn, we really made these in like a short time.
Bro, in less than 2 months.
And it's crazy because like even doing this with you is just like, I told even JJ, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm like, this man is pushing me out of my comfort zone just with that, because I've never made, like you say, just 4 tracks back to back in the turnaround, just be like, oh yeah, like, no, and I'm like, this going paired with when we was doing it with Briggsy, oh yeah, bro, this is a gym. This is I always do. I say it's a second job, but I'm like, but it's the job that I want. It's the job that I want. I ain't even tripping about it, and it's just like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Just getting all those reps in, bro.
Exactly, man.
So it's just
exactly.
simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but take our time. And when you put the guitar on there, come on.
Yeah. It was like the day before I just learned some new chords. I just learned like some major ninth shapes and stuff like that. And I was like just feeling those heavily. And so I think before we jump into that track though, I think let's just go ahead and dive in like in order of the tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean obviously we started with Take Our Time, but then very quickly after that
I flipped it.
Yeah, this man was playing a bunch of beats and I was just like, bro, these are fire. And he throws on the beat for Dance Like That. And this is just something he had sitting on the hard drive, and I said, that's mine. That is my, like, I could already hear the melodies in my head. And then he left, and I went to get dinner. And on my way to dinner, I'm just bumping the instrumental, and I already had the melodies. I recorded it on a voice memo, got home, wrote the song in 30 minutes, and then I sent him like a demo of it, and it was just like, boom, here we go. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm rocking with this, let's go.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just because, like you said, I just had that beat playing. Yeah, guys, I'm definitely the type. I'll be in my head, but I'm the type. I'll be like, yeah,
that was all of us, bro.
You know, this is cool, but you really brought it to life though, which was like really. That's the one thing too, because as much as I'm so like, oh, this is I probably just need a voice on it to complete it, and which like again, like I said, you brought it to life just with from hearing the demo, the voice note. To get in the studio, I'm like, damn, bro, from this to this, we got a full running song. And it should sound nice. The beat was already cool. I fucked with the beat. The beat was already cool. But I was like, the fact that you was like, no, this is hard. Yeah. I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
We got a contender. Contender. Let's do it. Okay, I'm down for it.
I'm down for it. That was really special, and I think a really important part of the process, was our man Nick Burnick, recording everything at the Bunker, his studio. Man, it was a really cool process because that was something we had talked about before we even started working on these records. He was just like, I want to work on these with you, but we got to figure out like how we who we want to engineer these. And I said, cool, we've worked extensively with Nick, and I know that he can get it right, and we know we work well with him.
Exactly.
And I was like, if I can get Nick to work on this with us, would you be down? He was like, absolutely.
Come on.
And so yeah, I mean we made 2 or 3 ahead of time, and then we went 4 weeks in a row where we just every Thursday. We just boom. We already had the record written and demo produced and all that. So all we had to do was just go in, tracking vocals, laying the harmonies, adding little notes to the beat on things that we wanted to change.
Yes, sir.
And so yeah, man, I think like there's not too much more we need to say with Dance Like That other than it was just it allowed. I think it kicking off these, it was really important because it establishes like here's another facet of who I am as an artist, and a different side vocally, especially.
Oh yeah.
With this where it was like cool, it's like a groovy, melodic, slower vibe, but then like the second verse, it kind of takes you on this different journey inside of like like something that I've always wanted to make. I've always wanted to make something like that.
He's stunned. when he the second verse, when he knew he was gonna drop his voice for the ladies. I'm saying it now, so y'all can run it back. When he dropped his voice for the ladies, and when he just cut it like that, I was like, yeah, we out here. We out here. He loving when you dance like that. That's all it is. Come on now, bro. But even bro, like, and even us going in the studio and just doing that, and like, just like you say, tweaking all the little things and stuff like that, and the full product for it is just like, oh yeah, this is nuts. This is crazy. They're gonna like, and the reception. Yeah, the reception. So I mean, it's a good starting point. It's definitely a good starting point for just kicking off the entire thing.
Exactly. And so this is also unique too. Normally, because of the timeline of this whole year, I'll be shooting these in advance, but Take Our Time as of recording this. Take Our Time comes out tomorrow, and so we've got Dance Like That, and then we have Best Kept Secret and Back in Town on the way. And what I think is really cool before we dive into Take Our Time is that it's half and half, where two beats that we made completely from scratch, where I just started playing guitar and then we built the beat on it, wrote them completely together, and then the other 2, which were beats that you had.
Yes, sir.
So for Dance Like That and Best Kept Secret, both of those were beats that you had that then we adjusted and worked to, and I wrote Dance Like That just in that one evening.
It's crazy.
Best Kept Secret, we wrote pretty collaboratively as well. I think we wrote like the first half of the song, and then I just finished it, and you were rocking with what I wrote for the second half. And but with the other 2, man, those started, once again, like you said, with Take Our Time, it started with that guitar.
Come on. Hey, just off of that, man, when you did that, I was like, okay, because even this is my first time just working, like you said, you play guitar.
Right.
So this is my first time just like, okay, let's see what I can do with this man. Because he got the guitars. I just need to put it all in motion. So the fact that, like, you know, from the guitar to the chords, and started just putting some drums down, and he was like, oh, this is that rim shot, I like that. Hi-hats, I like that. That kick and that 808, I likes that. After that, just forming it. And also another thing too, just a slight venture off, like creating these with you too, like been doing it in demo mode. Yeah. Straight demo mode. So when, you know, take these home, and I like, okay, I gotta just work on these and see what I can add, what we can take out, put in, and stuff like that. And to when you get it back and you like, oh, bro, this is what we was doing. Say less. Say less. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. No, that was a really fun part of this process as well. Was like seeing it progress in stages.
Yes.
That we were able to get the demo for us to be able to finish writing a song and getting it there, and then taking it into the studio so we can have vocals and have it be in a place where, like, okay, this is really to the level of where we want it to be. And then that third stage of tightening up the beat and adding the elements that we felt like it was missing, and then all the final mix mastering that we did, and that Nick was amazing at executing. And that collaborative part of this project was, I think, a really special thing to kick off the second half of this year, because I want there to be more crossover between all the guys who have made this year possible. And so I think that, you know, we had Jay in the studio a couple of times. We had Briggsy pull up to the studio. We've been able to get ears. I mean, I remember I sent Dance Like That to Sal, and Sal was like, hey, bro, that's triple platinum in my house.
Come on.
And so I think that even though that was so different than what I would normally do, the fact that somebody who I trust in a major way, you know, was able to instantly be such a fan.
Oh yeah.
And that was like that green light. Okay, let's keep going there.
Come on now.
And so I think, to jump back in and Take Our Time, the melodies on that one was something that as soon as we got in that say it's mine.
Come on now.
Like, as soon as we did that, I remember we were doing the Djemini, you know, twirling the shirt around. Like, as soon as we had that going, man, that was how we knew this is gonna be a real smooth one. And yeah, bro, I'm really proud of that record. And like, what I also love about your production, which is what I was excited for working together, was none of these are like guitar leading.
Yes.
And I think that is really core to a lot of great classic R&B production. To this point, so much of the records that I've worked on, that I've played guitar on, have the guitar front and center. But I think being able to pull it back and just use it in certain moments or as a certain texture allows it to have that different feel that I really wanted.
Yes, sir.
And so, yeah, man, it was fun to hear. Like, at first, and we talked about this with Nick one time. At first, and because Nick's a guitar player too, we're always partial to that. But like, upon hearing the first versions without the guitar as present, my instinct was like, oh, I want the guitar.
Exactly.
But then the more that I sat with it, I was like, no, you know what? These are supposed to have the guitar in just certain little moments, because that's what gives it that different feeling and that different emotion, and what allows there to be a focus on different elements of the beat, whether it is the drums, whether it is the vocals, whether it is the harmonies with certain things. It's like sometimes the guitar can clash a little bit or be too distracting.
Yes.
And so to be able to just inject it in those right moments, like, your just taste level on that was so immaculate.
I appreciate you, bro.
That once again, it was like, it felt counterintuitive to me at first.
Exactly.
Because of just how I always have guitar leading the way. But then to be able to step back and see how you did it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what we needed, bro.
and even me, like, just messing with it, because like, I kind of, and it's crazy you say that, because I kind of had like that slight thought of it too. I'm like, damn, these not really at the forefront like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like again, still making the beats and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know what? I said, even like you say, down to like just putting them in certain places. I'm like, okay, these could flow in certain places. And my whole thing, because even mixing guitar, still learning, you know, that whole aspect. and I was like, okay, are these too low? Are these too high? I'm cutting too much frequency off, or is this and that? But we got a good pocket. We made a good middle ground with it, and yeah, bro, it's just that first one always just off the fact like, dang, this is my first song. Live guitar, so I gotta do this. I gotta show my dog that we can get it done. Cause I'm just like
that we did.
blind into it, blind canvas.
Yeah. Well, man, it was really fun to see that process come to life because it was something new for both of us.
Yes, definitely.
And then being able to take that one to Nick as well, and just do it in that level. It was everything that I wanted the song to evolve into, and it's just a really unique song that I just think that's got maybe some of the most emotion in this project.
He said, okay.
Where like the kind of that people talk about like, hey, yo, we got to make more yearning music, and I'm like, yeah, I think this song out of the four probably has some of that most like yearning emotion.
Hey,
and just I think it is because of those melodies and like the way that it's held out and still like. It has that somewhat darker, somber tone, while also being, I think, melodically and vocally, it does feel warm.
Yes.
And it's a cool contrast between those two elements that came together in this really beautiful world of Take Our Time that, lyrically too, I think it has that warmth associated with it, where there's there's those smooth and sexy elements, but I think at the core, it is one of those yearning records.
Yeah, it's a sweet to me.
Yeah,
it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's a sweet song.
Yeah,
like it's just one of those like when you hear it, it's like you said, all the elements with it, but you like the overall underlying. Yes, this is a sweet song.
Yeah. So I think that was just really fun to make in that way, and then that opened the door into like, okay, what else can we talk about?
Exactly.
And so that's how Dance Like That came about, and then that's how going into Best Kept Secret, it was the same thing, where you were going through other beats and you played that, and as soon as I heard that, I was like.
This man,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. Because the moment I heard that, I was like, I knew instantly. It was funny because that day that we started that song, we had made two other beats first. You remember that?
I still got them loaded up, and I was like, damn, the fact that we didn't even get to finish these.
No, I know. We should at some other point, or like, or get them to a point where we could, just slide them into some of the other homies, because I think they're really cool. And beats that we made with guitar first, and how do we take those and turn them into something else? But then it still felt like when we got done with that second one, we're like, exactly. I still think we could do like today is calling for something different. It's calling for us to go a little bit further.
Exactly.
And then as soon as you played that the beat for Best Kept Secret, I was just like, yo, what is this?
And again, another one. This is cool. I feel like this is alright. If you messing with it, by all means. And my dog was like, nah, bro, this sounds like something Isaiah Falls would get on. I'm like, crazy you say that, but hey, I'm with
it. We started the day talking about we were playing some of the Isaiah Falls latest project, and I've been a fan of his for a minute. And I just wanted to make something that felt in that realm. And then as soon as I heard that beat, it just felt like, well, this could be one of those. But obviously, I'm not going to make a record that's like Isaiah, and that's not the goal. It was just more of certain elements that I wanted to be a part of it, but to give it that Djemini flavor. And so that's exactly what we did, man. And I remember, too, this was one of the few songs I very rarely have a title idea that then prompts the whole song. But remember, I just liked the beat, and then we didn't really have anything off the rip. But then it was later that I was like, oh, I think Best Kept Secret is a really cool concept.
Exactly.
And then that's what kind of opened the door to then writing the song.
Oh yeah, we started flowing like crazy.
And then as soon as we had that, it was like, okay, now we know exactly where we want to go. And the song kind of wrote itself after that, and it was similar to Dance Like That, where it's got this lower register stuff. You obviously hear this man's beautiful deep voice that inspired me to do some different things with my voice, and I was like, man, that's gonna be hard for me to hit some of those lower notes, but that's why I loved working on this project with you, because it allowed like being in the booth, sometimes struggling with certain things. just having your grounding presence and also your vocal guidance.
Yes.
You know, while I'm doing these things, it was like, okay, I got it. We're going to keep doing it. Here's how we can do it.
Yes.
And then here's even melodically how we can switch things up. You know, sometimes I'll get too boxed into a melody. And that's what you did for I didn't even talk about this on Dance Like That. But the chorus, I see a booty and it bounced right back, and it bounced right back. That melody was not originally like that. It was straight, all 4 lines were exactly the same. And I just remember you instantly were like, we gotta change the melody. And I was just like, okay, I trust you.
Yes.
And so I think that's a big part of what goes into this whole year, is just that trust that we're able to give one another.
Oh, yeah.
And
definitely.
so me and all the guys, and then especially with you, that I was like, bro, I trust your ear and I trust your production sense of where this should go. And also just being an R&B man that is like, I know that there's some things that would make more sense in other realms of music, but how do we make it for this R&B project the way that it should be? And I think that we really nailed it on some of those melodic switches that you really helped guide me through. And we did the same thing with Best Kept Secret, man.
Definitely. And it's crazy even with that. And nonetheless, I appreciate you for even trusting me, because I'm just like, even like just being in the booth, I'm like, okay, I'm just seeing what I can add, and if it, like you say, if it sticks, it sticks. Because even with Best Kept Secret, because that night my dog was like, bro, my brain is. I
could not do some of those lines for real. I don't know what it was.
My brain is obsolete. And I said, because even for a second, I was like, nah, he got it. I said, even though it's not making sense right now, but even like you said, days following after that, and you heard it, you was like, you know what? It makes sense.
Yeah.
But you also didn't listen to it. Yeah. I don't think you listened to it until like the next session. So when we played it back, you was like, oh, okay, word.
This does,
okay, word.
And the missing piece was that high harmony.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because with the real low register stuff and those harmonies that were still in that realm, it felt like just so different from what I had done. And different is good, but it was missing the glue. Yes. And the glue was the high harmony that made it sonically make sense. And so once we had that down, and then we started to tune up the beat, I was like, oh.
Put your lip glow, show my skin.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. My dog came in that thing flowing. I said, y'all don't know. Y'all don't understand. Because even the stuff, like I say, even us making like the beats together, and like you writing, and like you said, just tweaking certain stuff. Your writing is getting there. So just certain things like that, and it's always nice. It's fun to see when the artist amazes themselves in the studio. Because after you said that line, you was like, bro, hold on, run it back.
I remember that. I remember that. It was crazy.
But it'd be fire stuff like that. It'd be like, yeah, bro, we in the process. This is creativity at its finest in its purest form. Yeah. So it's like just experiencing that, and with you and even other people, it's always the craziest thing to see, bro. The most fire thing to see, bro.
Oh man, no. Once again, I appreciate like you helping me grow in that way, because I think that the confidence that I feel in writing with you, being in the booth with you out there, and just doing something that's different, bro. This is very different for me, and that's what I wanted. Like I've said multiple times, but to be able to execute it at a high level where it's not just me thinking that it's good, but me having the confirmation from somebody who lives more in this realm that is like, yes, this is fire.
Yes, sir.
And you're going in the right direction, or you can do this. Just keep going and keep getting, like, you're gonna get there. And I think we really got there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's what's so amazing. I don't have too much else to say about Best Kept Secret other than it was just, once again, like subject-wise, really fun.
Exactly.
It was just an idea birthed from the title, which is super unique and rare for me to do, at least. But it was also fun the way that the narrative built itself through the project. I've tried to have all 4 songs in every EP this year kind of flow into one another, not just be a random assortment, but it makes sense. So, even from the first one, like with Jay, right, where you get Athena, which is like me meeting this girl, being interested in her, Making Love, which is, talking about just that side of you
come on now,
like as soon as now you're connected with this person, it's like, this is what's going on. And then, Leaving With Me, which is like more of that, okay, it's not just like surface level anymore, where we have like more of an intimate and close relationship. And then Little Things is like very cute and lovey-dovey, where it's like, okay, now it's not me trying to be too smooth player, whatever. It's really like me just letting this,
I'm R&B-man.
And just, letting this girl know how I feel. So it was the same thing with this narrative. Like, I wanted it to all build into one another. So it's almost similar to the one with Jay. That's why I brought it up, where Dance Like That is like the same thing with Athena, where it's like you see this woman and you're just interested, right? And you're just like, okay, like,
I gotta talk to her.
Yeah, exactly. And so then that's where that one goes. And then it goes into Take Our Time, which is that same equivalent. It's like, okay, cool. Like, now we're spending time together, and there's no need to rush. Like, it's all good. Like, we got that time together, and we're gonna spend it how we want to spend it. And that, and kind of no outside thought or perception, and that being a really beautiful thing to just be locked in those moments together.
Hell yeah.
And then that opened the door into Best Kept Secret, where it's like, okay, in this narrative that we built, it's kind of with somebody who's from out of town. And so this is like, I'm not gonna let anybody know about you or what we're doing, just because of the reality of where we know the situation is. Like, I don't know where this will go, because you're not here.
Best kept secret.
So for now, you gonna be my best kept secret, and we're gonna see where that goes.
On God.
Because I know you gotta leave and blah, blah, blah.
Come on.
Now, like you said, foreshadowing, that goes right into Back in Town, where it's like, okay, now woman comes back in town, and we're in a situation where it's like, oh, you know what? I wasn't sure where that would go, but now we're both still mutually interested in one another, and we want to see where this could go. And through the course of the song, I actually realized that this woman really did bring out the best in me. And that was an important part of like my development, I think, as a man, is being able to point out those things and understand, like, okay, there's always going to be things, in like physical attraction or personality that you like, but when you get down to the core of like who you are as human beings, what did you bring out of one another?
Exactly.
And then that's why the chorus wrote itself was just like, you show me who I'm supposed to be.
Come on.
And I think that is one of the qualities that I'm looking for, that we were able to build into this narrative.
Oh yeah.
That showcases like, cool, there's always gonna be those cool stories of meeting somebody and you initially being attracted to them and everything that'll, happen in between.
Exactly.
But then to end it where like, okay, you know what? I could put all that aside, and I know that this is somebody that I really would want to be with because of who they helped me become, and vice versa, who I'm able to help them become.
Baby, come here.
So
baby, come here. Come mess with me. What we doing?
Exactly. So that's really it, bro. I mean, that's kind of thematically what I'd like to say on Back in Town, but I'll flip it to you for more like the production on that one.
So, Back in Town, production-wise, again, we started as just like Take Our Time with the whole guitar. And because you say, hey, you say if you could just play these chords and I could just all around it. I was like, say less. Now, definitely, as crazy as it is, because K-Wix, shout out plug, he
whole gang in this episode, man. Shout out K-Wix, bro.
And he asked me, said like, so what's your favorite tracks on the project? I said it's between Dance Like That and Back in Town.
Beautiful.
And I said just for the simple fact, I'm like, I feel like Back in Town is the most furthest out of my element.
Yeah.
For some reason. I feel like this is the furthest out of my element, because I was like, I'm not used to, and I know the producing me, I'm so used to certain chords, so I'm playing these and I'm like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
Okay. And just going along with it, because when you did the demo, I was just like, okay, we're gonna see what we could do. And I'm trying to see, because I think we was trying to make sure get that out of the way. So I just did what I did, and you did what you did on top of it.
That's right. That's right. We just finished that super like cut and dry, so we can lay vocals down, because we were still in that weekly cadence of doing that in Nick. So that one was real bare bones when we took it in the studio to lay vocals.
Oh yeah.
And then once I did that, then you were like, oh, I see where you're gonna go vocally and all these things. And so now I can build this all around what how you sang.
Yes. Oh, and that was so hot, bro. When I mean, it took me 2-3 days to arrange it, because it sounded so nice. And I was just like, oh, because at first, because when you first did it, I was just like, what's happening? Because I had it, because the structure, I think it was verse, hook, verse.
Yeah.
Or it was, I think it was hook. It was one of them. And then when you did it, that's why I was up in how I kept asking. I'm like, so I want to make sure before I just start. How many times I like? So that's I want to make sure this is okay. This how many bars? Okay, this the chord. Got you. So when I went home and when I went go mess with it, I was like, oh yeah, this. I just got to rearrange, just literally, and we out here. Yeah. And add like a couple things, do a couple styles, do a couple tweaks here there. Yeah. And the ending thing, I was just like, oh bro, I can't stop playing this. I haven't even sent this to this man yet. I haven't. If I'm feeling like this, he's gonna be feeling like this. If I'm feeling like this, and when you just like, bro, this is
hitting.
This is over without.
My goodness. Yeah. And then it was like that second session we had for it, when we added some of those other elements that we added to the whole project, right? Where we have the different city ambiance, the little different, the way that we use the phone keyboard clicking as like a little percussion element in the beginning of the song to establish. I'm like texting this woman like, where you at? Like, when you gonna be back in the city? And then she hits me right back like, oh, I'm actually flying in tonight.
Come on.
And that was like a really cool way to kick off the song and again establish that context. And then it goes right into it, and then it just expands into this beautiful, again, very sweet song. I think this out of all of them, right? I got the other ones where I got the low voice going or some sexy topics or whatnot, but this one is like a real
soft, sweet song.
Yeah, sweet song. It's warm and it feels like.
And you could play. This is something you could play. Like even just saying it. Like this is something you could just play around your girl.
Yeah.
Something you can play around your girl for. Like.
Exactly. Like and not with like, oh, I'm putting this on to try and set the mood or anything, but it's more of like you put this on and y'all just like.
Y'all viving.
Y'all like holding hands around the town type of music. Like that's what I feel like this one has, and it is that
lover boy.
Yeah, lover boy energy. Honestly, that's the best way that I can say it.
Lover boy.
I think man, that was a lot of fun to just be able to just like let loose and have fun on this one. And then once we brought it back and added those couple of little elements that brought it all together, I remember, as soon as we bounced that first demo too, I was just listening to this over and over. And then when you sent me the updated mix, I was just like, man, this is such a bop,
bro. And even you on the guitar, bro, because when I kept going through it, because that was the thing. I think if I remember how I did it, I mixed everything, and then I started putting the pieces of the guitar afterwards. I was already hearing it, but I was like, let me get this straight, and I could so just hearing like I was like, hold on. Even where you was doing that I was like, bro, this is hitting. This is all hitting all over.
That was beautiful, man.
It's just like trying to sequence it even to when I sent you today. I was just like, yeah, bro. I'm like, okay, so because when you said it last time, you was like, okay, I don't want this to be lo-fi. I don't want this to be. I'm like, okay, bet. So let's just drag this. I think at first we was going with it, but I think what it was too. I think because when I went back and messed with it, I must have took too much off. Yeah. So that's why it sounded like so underwater. Still sounded good, but it's like
it could use a little bit more.
It's all too. It's too because I flipped the freaking piano, so that's a little bit dark. Right. And I'm like, the guitar, and I'm like, okay. So today when I had started taking off and bringing back the highs, and I was like, oh, this marries it now. Yeah. I think this marries it now.
Yeah, man. So it's been really fun putting all of these together, and I think ending with Back in Town felt like a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
Like it's like it's a very kind of darker, moody. Still warmth, but like the first three are a little bit darker and different than what you're probably normally used to from me.
Come on now.
And that's exactly what I wanted.
Hey.
But then to be able to end it with something that picks up the mood a little bit, and that is again just like real sweet and cute, while still having the thing that's gonna make make everybody's heads bop, and that's what we wanted, and I think we really accomplished that with that record, man. And it's just so crazy to have all this in motion and to be able to, have it be received really well.
Oh yeah.
Just off the rip, and yeah, man. I think the last thing I want to say, or on my end that I'd ask you about it in general is a lot of people might be confused by the title. And so we gotta explain the Djose, bro. We gotta explain the Djose. Anybody for who's not familiar, who doesn't have a friend from the South or from Louisiana,
come on now.
You know, we gotta explain what Djose spelled J-O-C-E means, and then obviously we spelt it my way because of my name.
Exactly.
But explain the origin of the Djose. For the uninitiated.
Okay, so and I know a good bit of my people gonna be watching this and gonna be like, bro, what we doing? So back home in Louisiana, we it's one of Djose it's spelled J-O-C-E. It's just one of those words used for anything. Now I'm gonna let y'all look it up what it actually means. But as we use it, it's basically a waste of time. Pretty much. So anything like, oh man, this is a Djose. I was not trying to do this today. Or, dang, boy, that's such a Djose. That's crazy. Interchangeable. Just interchangeable. So it's like anybody.
As like an adjective too. Like, oh, like you Djosing her, like, you know, this type of thing.
Or you Djosing bad.
Yeah.
You need to calm down.
Yeah, for real. So
like,
it's a very multi-purpose
like that.
word that I was just like, you know, thinking about all the titles from this year, and they all have that same theme. Just a one word with the unique Djemini style spelling. And I was just like, man, there's no other title that makes sense because of the way we use Djose together, the way we use it in the studio, the way that we have other people using it. I even think we got Mr. Nick saying, dude, he's like, hey, bro, I'm gonna just Djose this real quick.
K Weeks told me, he's like, fam, what are y'all doing to us, bro? Why is y'all just coming in with the lingo? And it's just like, yeah, it's something to do. I'm just like, hey, bro, it's the Djose, bro.
It's the Djose, bro. There's no other way. Like I would have looked back at it and be like, dang. We should have made it had we not done that. And so I think to be able to do that, it's something unique, man. It's something fun. Like that's what we wanted. We wanted a record to carry this emotion, but we also wanted it to be fun.
Exactly.
And yeah, just like exactly what a Djose is, bro. Like we wanted it to feel like that.
Come on.
In whatever way that you're gonna perceive that.
Hey.
But to establish it that way, I think was really fun. And yeah, man, I think that's kind of like the last note that I want to have on it in general. What else would you like to say about the EP as a whole?
This is so like my dog said in his first post, we are not responsible for the population that will, you know, just go up. Just want to make that clear. Also, the way you know, Joe City to your city. Djose City to your city. Who know, they know. That's all I'm gonna say. They already know what type of time I'm on. But yes, I've had fun really like doing this project with you, bro. And even like it's just, I don't know, like I said, it's just out of my element. You just push me out of my element, which is what I enjoy about it. So just going back and just still listening to the mix for Back in Time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this is dance like that too. Even Best Kept Secret and Take Our Time. And I'm just like, bro, we really did this in a real crazy fashion.
Yeah, in a condensed period of time, man. To be able to, in under 2 months, take these from non-existent to fully fledged, ready to go, out there. We're in the midst of rolling it out. Like, it feels really cool, man. And I couldn't have asked for a better project to be right at this pivot point of the year.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Right at that 7th spot where it, like, anchors everything in those, you know, I grew up listening to such a variety of music, but I think that so many of the things that really got me excited, especially when I first started playing guitar, were different, like slow jam R&B tunes.
Exactly.
And so to be able to now have 4 of those that I feel like this is what like 18-year-old me who first picked up the guitar, who wanted to make something like that, who was raised by Confessions while also in love with the new generation, like, you know, whether it was Trey, whether it was Daniel Caesar, whether it was, you know, other things like that, mixed with some of the history that then I'm going back and learning. And incorporating all of those elements from like 90s R&B and things like that I feel like we did a really excellent job of
my brain just
combining,
I gotta show you the song after this. My brain just I was like, whoa.
And like that, I think that just the joy that we found through making all these together and then being able to do it in a short period of time and like show ourselves what was possible with a deadline like that was something that I'll always be grateful for. And I think the way we pushed each other through this whole process was what I wanted out of this year. Is I wanted to push myself to do something that was like beyond what maybe a lot of people think is possible.
Yes, definitely.
But then to grow with everybody that I'm working with and for us to equally push each other out of our element for the production, out of our element for the writing, and to be able to find more of our pocket and and to find new territory than we might do before. And so I think, to have done this in such a, once again, a condensed period of time was really fun to now look back and say, like, yeah, we really did that.
You did that.
And when the opportunity arises, bro, whatever opportunities over the next decade come up to do some real R&B activity, like, we know that, okay, if we need to do it in a condensed timeline, bro, we got it.
Come on.
We got it. I mean, we both have full-time jobs and we both have, other things that we do. And so the fact that we were every single week locked in, executing, a couple times a week, we'd be here on the weekends cooking up. We'd be in Nick's studio on Thursdays, working, laying everything down, and then we'd be refining everything in between.
Exactly.
And to be able to get that done, once again, in less than 2 months and have it served up and ready for you is a really special thing, man. So
crazy. Magnificent. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, man. So I mean, bro, that feels like everything that I wanted to cover with this, man. Is there anything else that you have as kind of like final notes here?
Man, other than that, go listen to the Djose. The Djose is gonna be hard, whether you know it or not. Hey, I'm trying to catch up to Jay. I'm trying to catch up to Jay with this project. That's what it is.
Let's go, man.
Because for me, Jay, with y'all, that project is already a certain win. I'm like, how can I get up to this? How can I get up to this? How can I top this? But even the thing though, like, now that you have, even with a little bit of Suave stuff, even with a little bit of his stuff, like, just knowing you just got those three, that's just in that certain pocket, and bro, unstoppable.
Nah, man, it's beautiful, bro. So once again, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, my brother.
And dog, this is a real special project. We're glad that we get to share it with you. And by the time you're watching this, all the songs are out, we're heading into part 2. And so get ready, man. This has been a real special way to button up this middle of the year and to be able to kickstart the second half, because song 26, Take Our Time, is that right halfway point. So the next 2 technically are exactly what starts part 2.
Serving it.
So, man, we appreciate y'all just listening to the project and for rocking with us. It was really fun to share some of the history behind how we met and started working together, and then for where we're going with this project, and then what we'll continue to work on as we get into future projects and your projects. And I mean, I think that's another thing that I wanted to make sure to mention, that, like, if you love what you're hearing on our production, and you want a beautiful, sultry, deep voice to be able to listen to, this man got hits out there. And you got, I'm really proud that I shot the project cover art.
Come on now.
For Burgundy.
Talk to me.
I'm gonna shoot the next couple anyway as well. We got the other future project. I'm not gonna give away the names.
My brother.
But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful collaborative process, and the whole gang, we're all artists as well. And so to be able to go listen to R.J.B, R.J.B. Check it out. Wow. My boy has some beautiful music, who has many of our friends represented in there as well. And there's just gonna be more of that crossover to come. And so, man, I'm just excited to grow together, and for you to enjoy more of the music, and for us to just keep doing our thing, bro.
We gonna keep doing the thing.
It's upward, my guy.
My brother.
Love, bro.
Love, my brother.
Yeah, man. So that was the 7th episode of the 5225 podcast. It's really special to share this with you, and we're looking forward to what the rest of the year has in store. So appreciate y'all.
Skis.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, bro, that was great, man.
That was hard.